Hi, everyone. Thanks for being here. I'm so excited to run our first ever end of the year or end of the summer webinar. We've been in this space for close to 10 years now, and we've had a front row seat seeing the momentum building in the SMB M&A space. And it's just so vibrant and inspiring. Like I said, we're happy to host our first ever end of the summer webinar. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Nunzio Presta. I'm the founder and CEO of buyandsellbusiness.com. We're an online platform where people can buy and sell all types of businesses, ideally in the micro market, which we define as businesses with an enterprise value of under 5 million. We've connected over 3 billion in transaction value and have grown our community over 50,000 in our pursuit to empower people to love what they do. And we genuinely believe a viable path towards that is business ownership. So every single day, our team is super focused on creating great features and building a strong community that makes business ownership real for thousands. Today, I'm joined by our CTO, Jeff Dyson. I'd love to add him to the stream here.
Good day.
Hey, Jeff, great to see you here. Say hi to everyone here.
Hi, everyone. So I guess that, opening remarks for me. So I'm Jeff Dyson, the CTO of buyandsellbusiness.com. I basically built this whole marketplace. We like what we do, and I love what I do. And as Ninja said, we're always looking to improve and bring you guys the best features. So today we're going to talk about one of them, which is our full service, which we completed recently, and we can't wait to show you. So I'll let Ninzio do the talking here. He's the charismatic leader, and I'm just sort of the brains behind the scene.
Thanks, Jeff, for that. Yeah, sure. Let's actually go through the agenda for today. As you can tell, super informal. We're going to first go over the differences between our subscription solution and our full serve solution, and just showcase a quick demo for both solutions from start to finish. Then we're going to quickly review our resource center, both from a member view as well as a public view. There are some differences. Next, we'll briefly discuss the importance and differences between our BizAlerts and our premium buyer program. And then we'll end it off with a quick Q&A where you can ask questions via the chat box, and we'll have fun answering them. So what we're going to do here is dive in quickly. So when sellers enter our marketplace, they're primarily hit with two options. Okay, first is our subscription solution, which basically provides sellers with unlimited listings, unlimited leads. There's no contracts or cancellation fees, and it's only $99 per month with no commission. And ideally, that solution is for that experienced seller or that professional that is helping their clients try and sell their business and using our platform as a marketing tool. And from that solution is pretty much an introduction solution. They're looking for introductions only, and then they're off to the races to try and get that deal across the finish line. The second solution is our full serve solution. And basically, the full serve solution is the first automated and digitized purchase and sale experience. And that's for a really small deal that may be ignored by certain professionals, but they still want to push that deal through. They want to present it to buyers. They believe that there's a great business there if they have the proper guidance. And what our technology does is we provide them with the opportunity to receive basically one-click non-binding offers from potential buyers. And then our technology helps both parties build out the letter of intent, empower them or enable them to e-sign the documents. And once that's done, it actually opens up our platform, or opens up the platform to a deal room for both the buyers and sellers. And from that point forward, our platform does a great job at providing checks and balances and certain nudges to guide them all the way through deal support, due diligence, closing, and then eventually the transfer of deal funds. And while you're in that deal room, you also have the ability to chat with the other party through a chat box. So you could ask questions, exchange documents, and do whatever you need in order to make sure you're making informed decisions from both the buyer and seller perspective. And for that solution, solution. There's no cost to list, but once it's sold, we do take a fee, and that fee is substantially less than anything else out there. It starts at around 1%. So once again, one solution is for those experienced parties looking for introductions. The other solution is more for those parties looking for some hand-holding through leveraging our technology. So with that said, I'd love to run through a quick demo. Jeff, you up for that?
Absolutely. So I'll be the seller and you can be the buyer.
Sure.
How's that sound?
Sure. So what I'll do is I'll actually share my screen here. Here we go. Perfect. Okay.
Here's I've got a successful pizzeria and I'm looking to sell.
So you're okay. So I'm going to plug in successful pizzeria. Okay. So as soon as you see, so say you're navigating our platform here, you come across a successful pizzeria, and you like what you see. Okay. What you're going to do here is you could tell right now that basically this seller is leveraging our full serve, because instead of make a connection, it actually says make an offer. So what you're going to do is you're actually going to go ahead, make an offer, and there's all sorts of help and guidance terminologies here and what to expect, and pretty much a quick FAQ on what the full serve solution is all about and what the non-binding offer is all about and whatnot. Sometimes people are a little uncomfortable sending an offer out the gate without understanding the details of the business. Take it with a grain of salt as far as listings. Listings are pretty simple, but the non-binding offer is, first of all, non-binding, so there's little to fear. And second, it gives the seller the confidence to actually engage, because there's that commitment to privacy through an NDA clause and whatnot. And then once that non-binding offer is signed off, both parties will have the ability to enter the deal room and actually go through proper due diligence. But let's show you, instead of speaking, let's show you. So the price is $320,000, deposits 15%. You know what? I'm going to make that 10%. I think 15% is a little too much. Due diligence, I actually want 60 days. Closing period, 1 month, I'm good with that. Transition period, 30 days, I'm good with that as well. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually submit this offer. And the way we go. So if I want more information, can definitely click here to review more information. If I want to return to the listing, absolutely can do that. But what I'm interested in doing now is actually going to view the offer. So I'm going to go to the offer, and right away, you'll see that it opens up to your own deal room for this offer. I can see that Jeff is a seller. I'm waiting to see what he does. The ball's in his court to review that offer and accept it, decline it, or renegotiate. So Jeff, I'll let you take the next step here.
Certainly. And of course, as soon as Nunzio made that offer there, I did get an email notifying me right away that a new offer has come in. So through that email, I can click the provided link and go directly to this deal room page, the same as Nunzio has. So he's sharing his screen, so you'll see it from the buyer perspective, but I basically have the same thing here. And right at the top, we have 3 different phases. So there's the intent phase, the diligence phase, and the closing phase. We'll walk them through these different phases, but basically it's sort of the heads up, like these are the actions that are required to move on to the next step. And these actions are displayed to both parties. So what we want to do is make sure both the buyer and the seller are aligned at all times, and encouraging them to, communicate and follow through on, fulfilling their journey. And we're here, every step of the way to help facilitate that. And as well, we of course have our deal support options. So if you need access to financial services, accounting services, legal services, we're partnered with appropriate vendors and great organizations that can help fulfill these things that you might not be comfortable doing yourself. And we have lots of other avenues for information. If you need just general help that these particular partnerships can alleviate you, we have a help form you can fill out. There's information about the overall process, glossary of all the terms. There's a lot of jargon when it comes to buying and selling business. There might be things you're unfamiliar with. So there's lots of information available to digest and to help you complete purchase and sale. So with that, what we start off with is the letter of intent. So on my screen here, I can see that the offer has come in. So I can review that, Nunzio reduced the deposit to 10% from 15. I can see that. So I have the opportunity to say, well, I think this offer is not so good, so I'm just going to decline it. I'm actually not interested, or maybe I already have, somebody else, and I think I'd rather go with them, that kind of thing. And you don't necessarily only have to have, one offer at a time. You can entertain multiple offers and see how they go. We're in the beginning at this point here, there's not necessarily a commitment. It's more of establishing between the two of you what you think is a reasonable, price point and in terms of due diligence and that sort of thing. So you just want to find common ground at this point, and there's no reason why you have to stick to a one offer over another. It's good to explore all your options. So what I'm going to do is just negotiate back. So I have the ability to just say, you know what, I want to increase the deposit back to 12%, but I'm going to lower the purchase price to 300,000 to make up for that. Everyone's got the reasons for things like this. This is just for a demonstration, but we just want to show you the capability of this. So I've made those changes, and I've hit the negotiate. So Nunzio will receive a notification of that and return to this page here, and I'll let him continue on.
No, exactly. So that's great. And Jeff's absolutely right. The idea here is just to find common grounds on the terms, and just have the confidence and privacy that there's both parties are committed to see this deal through. So through the email, I just got notified and nudged that, hey, seller renegotiated the offer, and I get directed to my deal room here under the letter of intent phase, and I can see, okay, well, he doesn't want 10%, he wants 12% now, but he actually reduced the 300,000. But all the rest, he's fine with: the transition period, the closing period, and due diligence. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna accept the offer, and right away it's gonna ask me to sign. So I'm just gonna put my initials. Actually, you know what? I don't like the way that looks, so I'm gonna redo it. There we go. And submit. I'm good with that. LOI is signed. And now back to Jeff.
All right. So Nunzio, we should actually just quickly show them what the letter of intent looks like. But what's happening on my end is I'm going to receive notice that my negotiation was accepted by the buyer, and so now it's my opportunity to also agree and confirm that, yes, I'm still in this. And so I'm going to be also signing my copy of the letter of intent, which will display both of our signatures when it's completed. So I'm just in here now. I'm doing exactly what Nunzio just did, and I'm accepting and signing. And so this step in the process has now been completed. So Nunzio will get a notification that I've also done this as well, and we'll be able to see at the top here that it's been completed.
Yeah, exactly. So I just got a notification now saying that the letter of intent is fully executed, it's completed. Over here, I'm able to download the LOI. Say as a buyer, I just got cold feet. I am able to cancel the offer now as well. So the capabilities are there, but I don't have cold feet. I'm confident. I'm moving forward. I love pizza. I love this business. So let's download that LOI for my own records. I could see a copy of it here as well. This is very generic, but it does the job as far as making sure, once again, that both parties are aligned, they're comfortable, and there is, there's definitely, details around the most important aspects of the offer, including, the NDA that most sellers want to see. So signatures are there, dated. I keep for my own copy. I keep for my own file. Sorry. Now the next phase, it's not a mandatory phase, but it is another capability within the deal room here. We receive great feedback every single day, and we always try our hardest to make sure we execute and implement the feedback we feel adds extreme value to our community. And this was one that actually added extreme value. So what we heard from our community was, you'll have, the deal being executed through a platform from, one person on each side. But in reality, for example, a buyer may have multiple people that are involved with this deal. And it's not that they need to execute, or take action on our platform, but they definitely want to be in the loop. They want to know what's going on. So from that perspective, we actually enable our users to add deal recipients to the deal room. So for example, as a buyer, say I'm working with my lawyer, my accountant, my banker, whoever, my partner, say I want them to be in the loop with as far as how this deal is going and the certain actions that need to take place. All I need to do is add recipient, put in their email. So we'll put in my email here, save, and that's it. I could add as many recipients as I want. I can remove recipients as well. But moving forward now, not only will I be receiving the nudges and emails and reminders and notifications to take action on this deal and what's next in the pipeline, so will my partner or my lawyer or my accountant. So it's a very neat feature. It's all about communication and full transparency and just making sure whoever's involved has full transparency on the next steps, because we don't want to see the deal fall through because of poor communication or just because people didn't know what's expected or what to do next. So once again, great feature. But now what we're in here, once that's all done, the biggest thing here is due diligence. That opens up. And for due diligence, what we do here is we have a checklist. We have a list of things that we recommend both parties review and or provide. If you want, for example, an organization chart, you could simply scroll back up. Let's collapse this as well because this is done, so it's nice and neat. You could scroll back up, open chat with Jeff, and you could easily just say, hey, can you send me the org chart? Right. And the rest is history. Jeff, from his end, he could reply, he could upload a document just by hitting that icon. And now all the communication, all the documents, all the questions are easily organized in one deal room. You don't have multiple emails going, there we go. Yes, I can. Let me get that for you. So it's all about organization and keeping these deals as organized and transparent as possible. This live chat is a perfect example of someone asking questions during due diligence and getting those answers. And by all means, pick up the phone, call each other. You're gonna have an in-person meeting as well, depending on the business. But look at this deal room as the main operating system of the deal. You want to make sure you stay within the walls and you provide answers to questions within the walls of the deal room and exchange documents through here. So at least you have a track record of what you're doing during the entire deal. So let's collapse the chat here. Let's scroll back down. Let's fast forward. I'm good. I've done the due diligence as the buyer. I'm excited. I'm not going to adjust the details. There could be a scenario where, listen, I found something, a little bit more debt than I thought the business had. I may want to adjust prices or my deposit, etc. But in this case, let's make it simple. I don't want to adjust the details. I'm happy to move forward. I'm happy with the due diligence. All I have to do is affirm checklist. So affirm due diligence checklist. Yes, confirm. Important notice, just reminding everyone, make sure you stay within the walls because this deal room is created for everyone's protection. We want to make sure that both parties are leveraging the capabilities of the platform in order to keep everyone safe and everything transparent. So back to you, Jeff.
All right. And, up until this point too, I really want to, make sure it's clear that there has been no obligation to purchase this business. Like, when you fill out the letter of intent, that's not a binding agreement that says I'm committed to this, I'm doing this. It's just to make sure that both the buyer and seller are on the same page, and that the terms of how this journey is going to function is just agreeable by both parties. So a lot of people do feel intimidated by the letter of intent, and all its purpose really is just to make things clear on what the expectations of both parties are, so that you can both align on them. So that's the purpose of that. And then, so I'm gonna get notification that diligence was confirmed on the buyer side, in this case Nunzio. So I'm also going to affirm it as well, and I'll of course get the same reminder that he did, and we can move on to the next step.
Perfect. So we're firing through this. I think we're going to make the deadline here, but it looks like due diligence was accepted from the seller as well. And now this is where things get serious. We're going to require a deposit from the buyer. So what basically has to happen here is we provide all the information here for our account. We're going to ask the buyer to send the deposit to our bank, either ETF or wire transfer. We're going to hold those deal funds, in the best interest of both parties, to make sure that the deal continues to move forward. Now, the buyer basically has the opportunity to look at those details, send the money, and as soon as they're done, they're just going to say deposit sent. From our end, we're going to see that, confirm that the deposit's sent, and then we're going to continue to move forward to the next stage. Jeff, back to you.
All right. So, yes. So, again, I do want to reiterate this point that the deposit is fully refundable and that sort of thing. Like, we do it this way so that you're not sending, as Nunzio, the buyer, he's not just sending me money directly. We've probably met and he's seen my business and all that stuff, but we want to make sure that when there's transactions happening, that we're facilitating that. Just because there are scams out there, and we just want to have the protection of our members in mind. So we do our part by facilitating these transactions. We'll hold on to them for you. We'll incur the fees. We're not trying to do anything here. So at this point, just because the buyer has sent this deposit, it doesn't mean that they're necessarily committed. They're just showing that they are capable of committing and moving forward. So if the deal goes south, something else happens, this deposit is refundable.
Exactly.
So I just want to make sure that's clear. So on our side of things, we get notified that the deposit has been made, and then once the financial institutions involved do their work, and the funds have actually been moved, then we will be notified as well. And it's at that point that we can go in and confirm with both parties that yes, we've received these funds, and that will unlock the next stage in the process. So I'm actually just gonna have to go in and do that here, which will just take me a second, because we're actually doing it as a demo here and not the proper way, and the funds haven't actually gone through. I have to sort of just do it a little manually here. So just takes a moment.
And essentially, as Jeff's doing that, what's happening in real world is that basically both parties are being emailed, and they're fully in the loop, and there's full transparency on what's happening. So the buyer will get an email saying, "Yep, we received your deposit. Thank you." The seller will say, "Hey, we have the deposit. Let's move forward to the next stage." And Jeff, just nudge.
Yep. So I've updated our records to indicate that the funds were received.
Perfect. So as we can tell, once again, those emails go out. There's full communication happening for both parties. And now the next phase is basically upload a signed purchase and sale agreement. So this is once again where you could leverage our partners if you need. But most of the times, if you have your own lawyers from both sides, you'll work together on a purchase and sale agreement. This would happen off platform. We wouldn't really get involved in this unless you're leveraging our support partners, or you tap our shoulder and have a question about what you really need to provide here, because it's the first time you've ever done that. We'll guide you, but essentially what you're going to do is work with legal from both sides to craft that purchase and sale agreement, align on that purchase and sale agreement. This will be a binding agreement, so you have to take it seriously. All we would require at this stage is for both parties to upload the fully executed purchase and sale agreement into their deal room. So as a buyer here, all I would have to do is click confirm and then move forward. So all I would have to do here is upload the file. I don't know. Let's just upload this guy here, and then let's pretend that's the purchase and sale agreement. Once I've uploaded it, I'm going to confirm upload. Yes, it's fully executed. Now what's going to happen from the seller side, and Jeff will go through this, is he'll get notified that he needs to do the same thing. And once both those purchase and sale agreements are fully executed and uploaded into our system, our team is actually going to go and review both documents and both uploads to make sure that A, they're the same, and B, it's official. Jeff?
Yeah, so yes, this is when things get really serious and you guys are actually committed to finalizing the purchase and sale with this agreement. And that's why, the legal team should be involved to, ensure everything in the documents are right. And, our review process is just to, ensure that, the proper, procedures are being conducted by both parties, and everything, looks good, because again, we want to make sure that, everything that occurred is appropriate, and everyone's gonna walk away feeling great about what they've done here. So I've also updated my copy of the purchase and sale agreement, and I was notified that Nunzio had already done the same, so I quickly did that as well. And so if he revisits here, he'll see that I've completed it also. Okay, great. So yep. So he's you can see that I've also updated now, and so now it's the part that BuyAndSellBusiness.com does, where we review. So I'm just going to go in and say yes. These purchase and sale agreements look fine to us, and to keep this deal flow moving forward.
And just to jump in there too, Jeff, the icon indicator is big within our deal room as well. So you'll know, like, if something's completed, obviously it's a green check mark, but here there is an action, and the action has nothing to do with the buyer seller, but you'll read what that action is right here. So like Jeff said, both parties are now waiting for BuyAndSellBusiness.com to review, confirm, and make sure that everything's aligned with those two purchase and sale agreements. So Jeff, take it from there.
Yeah. So I'm just still updating our records internally here. I just have to go in manually. It's because we're doing a demonstration. It's a little bit of a different process. So
not a problem.
Just give me one moment.
And as we wait for Jeff, what you'll notice as well is that this phase opens up where the seller can provide their banking information. So Jeff, as a seller, what he'll do is he'll provide all their banking or his banking information. So once we actually get to the last stage, which we transfer the payouts, we know where it's going.
Perfect. So I've updated our internal records here to indicate that the review process has completed successfully. And both parties will be notified of that event.
Perfect. So as you can tell, green check mark, we're good to go. Next stage, the seller's been notified to upload his banking status and all his information. So Jeff, I'll let you take it from there as well.
Okay, so yeah, so I'm gonna put in my banking information. I'm just gonna use dummy information for now. I think my bank is at 123 Fake Street.
And as Jeff does that, just to give you a visual, if we go back to the buyer deposit, we're going to be asking for information like this from the seller, so we know where to transfer the money. Just to give you a visual of what he's seeing right now from the seller side.
Okay, so I've updated my banking information, and my personal banking information would not be privy by the buyer. They don't get to actually see what it is. So we don't expose any of that personal information to either party. Anytime any sort of information is exchanged, it's always clearly notified ahead of time.
Exactly. So this would be, as a buyer, this would be the view that I would have. So right now it still says the seller has not provided banking information yet. Jeff, can I go ahead and refresh that?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, still says that. Maybe you forgot to.
You know what? There was a little confirm button that I didn't push. It's confirmed. It's confirmed.
Oh, love these informal webinars. So completed. There we go. So now as a buyer, I see the seller has provided their banking information. So things are rock and rolling right now. So now, once again, this is the final stage where we're going to actually ask for the rest of the money from the buyer. So we took the deposit minus the full selling price. We're left with $264,000. This is where once again the buyer will look at the banking information and send an ETF or wire transfer to BuyAndSellBusiness.com. Once that's done, they'll come in here and they'll hit unsent, done. And then from our end, once again, we will get the notifications, and both parties will be in. We'll keep both parties in the loop as far as how that's going with the transfers and with the financial institution. So Jeff, on your end, what are you seeing? Oh, you're on mute, Jeff.
Yes, I am. I'm trying to do too many things at once here because I also have to go in and edit our records to show that this has been sent. But basically, as the seller, that's right. As the seller, I of course would be notified and can see that the buyer has sent in the purchasing funds. And so then we're just waiting for BuyAndSellBusiness.com to receive those funds and notify us that that has been confirmed. So what I'm doing here behind the scenes, again, our system would be set up to sort of automatically handle this, but because we're doing a demonstration, I just have to go in and do this adjustment manually. But basically, I'm going to update our records here to say that it has gone through and oh, here it is. Purchase received. Yep. So here we go. And I actually need to.
And as Jeff's doing that, I just want to quickly show everyone as well. Just another neat little feature. It's just a timestamp, so you know how long ago certain phases how long ago, certain phases were completed and how long it took to get where you're at. It's really important to keep the timeline in mind, because you want to make sure that you're moving this deal forward as quickly as possible, and as as diligently as possible as well. One thing that we've noticed on our platform is speed. Whether it's too fast or too slow, it does kill deals. So this system, once again, is making sure that both parties are on are on the same bus, going the same way at the same time, in the same direction. So yeah, Jeff, how are we doing there on our end?
We're doing good. So I've updated the internal records here, so it should show that the funds were received to both the buyer and the seller. And just to comment on what you said there, what was it that I was going to say? I don't remember what I was going to comment, but it's not important. We'll just continue.
All right. Well, yeah, like Jeff said, both we've confirmed that we've received the funds. Everything's ready to go, and the last stage is here. So we're waiting for the closing date to reach, which is 99 days. That's what our system sees. Now, if this deal cross the finish line way sooner than the closing date, which is 99 days, obviously be in touch with support, and we'll make sure we send those payouts accordingly. But essentially what happens here is as soon as the closing day approaches, our system will pay out the seller the total deal funds minus our take rate, and this deal is officially closed. So our platform has done a pretty successful job at making sure there's the checks and balances and the certain nudges, whether it's within the platform or an email reminder, to make sure that both parties are aligned and both parties are moving in the right direction at the same time, with full transparency and communication. That's what that's a big that's a big deal around this whole digital and automated aspect of it. It's all about transparency, and it's all about clear communication on moving these deals forwards. You have to keep in mind, most of the individuals leveraging this this solution, it may be their first time buying or selling a business. So for some people listening in here, it may look elementary, but we've done a lot of research, and we've put a lot of time into simplifying the complexities and making sure that the framework is set in a way where it doesn't confuse anyone. Like I said before, it increases the amount of communication going back and forth, and prioritizes transparency for everyone. Those are the key elements, in our opinion, on making sure that deals happen and making sure that the deals are successful. So the payout has been sent, Jeff. What is shown now?
Right, and I remember what I was going to say, because while we're doing this demonstration here, we're actually running through this really quick. So usually a lot of time would elapse between some of these events, and so we're just refreshing this really quick here and showing you, but essentially months can even go by before you go through the next step, and it's really all what has been decided by both parties is the appropriate time to follow up on certain aspects of this deal. So just a comment on that. And then so where we're at in this deal flow right now, I've gone ahead and I've updated our internal records to indicate that the purchasing funds have been received, and that we've also sent them out to the seller. So that's the final step of this process. And congratulations on your new pizzeria. It's lovely. You're gonna love it.
I just bought a pizzeria, everyone. No, that's awesome. So anyways, like I said, the goal here is to really simplify some complexities. Buying a business is not an easy thing, but we do believe we make it a little bit easier. So that's full serve. Now, what I like to run through quickly here is, the less complicated route. So when you're on our platform and you hit buy, let's reset these filters here. You may come across a listing that actually says make a connection. So they're not asking for an offer. So if it said make an offer, that seller's leveraging our full serve solution where it's like we just went through. It's automating the entire thing. For make a connection, this is very simple. This is an experienced seller or broker or professional. They've been there, they've done that. They have their acquisition team on hand. All they're looking for is an email introduction from a qualified buyer. And this is simple. All you're going to do is make connection, press OK. And right away, once you press OK, there's an email introduction that automatically happens, facilitated through us between the buyer and the seller, and then they're off to the races. So quickly wanted to touch base on the difference between full serve listings and subscription listings. A couple things before we jump into a Q&A. So just the importance around BizAlerts and our premium buyer program. So BizAlerts are very simple. So we have listings that are posted every day. Some become inactive, some are still active for weeks, but there's new inventory weekly. So if you come to our site and you search for something, whether it's a keyword, a name, or listing ID, or you pump in some of these targeted search criterias, and nothing comes up, don't worry. Things will come up. So what we encourage everyone to do is just add BizAlerts. So for example, say you're looking for a minimum price 45,000, maximum 115,000. You're independent, looking for independent businesses. Let's do accounting. Boom. There's nothing there right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually create a BizAlert. And right here, you'll see I have two BizAlerts right now, one for any business in any industry, and then the other one is for an accounting bookkeeping business, asking for 45 to 115,000. When those listings are posted on our site, I will automatically get notified, and then I could make that connection or send that offer. Now, if you're looking for a more optimized deal flow experience, and BizAlerts just don't do it, you want to be notified before our marketplace is notified and our buyer network's notified. We do have a premium buyer program, and that is a paid program. But essentially, what that gives you is it gives you optimized deal flow, gives you a sneak peek access at all the listings before they're approved and live in our marketplace. It gives you one-on-one customer support through our Slack community. It also provides you with some template documents that are worth thousands in value as well, just so you have it on hand. But the most valuable piece of that program is just the ability to actually see a deal before everyone else on our platform and make that connection with that seller before anyone else on our platform. There is extreme value in that, and we all know what a great deal is worth. So we have a ton of people joining that program as well. The last thing here before we jump into Q&A, it looks like we're running into our timing's pretty good right now. We have 15 minutes left. I just want to jump into our member view of our resource center. So click resource on your dashboard right here. You have a bunch of widgets. The first is a quick valuator calculator. You pump in your EBITDA, you select your industry, and we'll pump out a quick and dirty valuation. Take it with a grain of salt. It is an estimate. We always recommend that you seek professional valuation advice. But it is a pretty strong indicator based on thousands and thousands and thousands of pieces of data that we've been collecting for the past decade. So it's pretty strong. The next is just benchmarking industries just to see what the average prices are on our platform. So right now it looks like the average listings just under $1 million on our platform. Say you wanted to check what the average listing was for a health and fitness business, you'll see it's 225,000. So these are, once again, two nice little widgets that can provide some guidance for our buyers and sellers. Once again, we have valuation professionals. So if you wanted to connect with a valuation professional, you could inquire. We have business support as well, everything from accounting to legal to marketing to operations, anything needed to grow a business you just acquired, or or find efficiencies in a business that you're planning to sell one day, because you really want to provide a strong business with strong numbers so you can have a strong valuation when you go to market. We have those connections to those professionals that can help you. We also have legal template forms that you could download. We also have a digital leverage widget, which is pretty powerful, especially for those sellers that have multiple listings. What you could do is you could basically have your seller profile link and you can embed that on your website. And that's a great opportunity just to redirect your own traffic to learn more about your listings in a convenient way versus double listing everywhere. So that's a pretty good feature. And then biz perks. We have multiple. Just to show you here, we have multiple perks from a ton of vendors just to save you some money and thank you for being a member. And then the last thing, feedback. Obviously, we're always open to your feedback. We're always looking to improve. So let me log out here quickly and just show you what our public resource field looks like, or page looks like. Status updates, anything and everything new with our platform, you'll get notification through there, and you'll see what's for example, there's a new event or new terms and conditions. You'll see all that through here. Sold listings is pretty powerful. We actually showcase all the listings that have sold on our site, just so you have an idea on what's performing pretty well. We also have a free business valuator from a public perspective. Our Slack community, the Slack community is amazing. It's growing to almost 1,000 members. Last time I checked, close to 80% of all interactions have been through DMs. So people are really connecting with each other, wanting to learn from each other, share insights, and just do business together. So it's a pretty strong Slack community. Definitely recommend everyone to join there. Data stories is a great view of where our members are from around the world. We have members from over 20 different countries, primarily Canada, the US, and then 18 different countries from both the buyer and seller perspective. So it's a good view to see how wide reaching our platform is and how much we've grown. We show the average listing prices and the average connection prices on our site, and the week over week growth or declines in those areas as well. We show how many people are within our ecosystem, how many e-commerce listings are on our site, how many home-based listings are on our site. It's a great resource just to see the data that we're collecting and how powerful it is just to display to people so they can make an informed decision. But one thing about this page that I love the most is this stat right here. We've been able to save 1,400 local businesses and 14,000 jobs. And that's the whole point of our platform, right? Number one is to empower people to love what they do. And the second is just to make sure that these great local businesses that are literally the backbone of our communities around the world just don't disappear because, family succession is not an option, or they don't think they're sellable. We want to give them that opportunity by making sure that they're connected with the right professionals, with the right resources, and we connect them with the right types of buyers that have the resources and strategy and patience to buy and grow that little business into something more than it is right now. So great stat that I'd love to always look at. Now we go back to the resource center and scroll down. We have some reports that are great for people to look into, franchise reviews. Once again, a little information for people that aren't members yet on our grow and resource area as far as the perks and tools that they would engage in once they're a member. We have buyer workshops that run all the time, our glossary, as well as something I'm very interested in and something that's been something we're constantly prioritizing is our events page. So we have this event happening, and we have our private dinners, our conferences, and our socials that we're currently working on and delivering to to our audience. For us, our community outreach programs are our top priority because it does two things for us. One, it helps us connect with people in real life. And two, it helps us spin our flywheel as fast as we can. And that flywheel is all around educating our buyers and building a strong community of buyers that could connect with our sellers and help our sellers sell their business. And that's what it all comes down to. So that's pretty much it here. What I'd love to do is, I know we've been going on for 50 straight minutes. I can't believe that. But what I'd like to do now is, there's some questions that I've been seeing, throughout the event. So I'm going to answer a couple here. So Jeff, if there's at any point, if you want to jump in on the answer, feel free to just interrupt me. Okay. So the first question was, what key factors should potential buyers consider when evaluating a business listing on buyandsellabusiness.com? That's a great question. So, it may be hard to identify this based on listings, but I think you need to be aware of our 3 pillars for a sellable business, which basically means you want to stay focused and disciplined on buying not only a valuable business, but a sellable business. And sellable businesses have great timing and align with social, economic, and tech trends. Sellable businesses are self-sufficient, meaning they're not dependent on a particular stakeholder. And sellable businesses have strong and healthy financials. So you need to commit to finding a business that fits that framework. The next is, not all sellers are comfortable sharing confidential information. So take listings with a grain of salt. It's just the very beginning of your search journey, and you'll be able to dig into all the details of the business once there's a strong connection and there's an NDA and offer in place. And the last is, like we just went over, there's 2 calls to actions on our listings. So be aware of that. The first is make a connection, which means sellers are leveraging our subscription solution, looking for email intros. And the second is make a non-binding offer, which means the seller is leveraging our full serve solution that automates and digitizes the entire purchase and sale experience, from offer to due diligence to transfer of deal funds and close. So I think, if you keep those in mind, I think you'll be able to evaluate, the listings on our site pretty accurately. Next question: what strategies can sellers use to maximize the visibility and attractiveness of their listings on buyandsellabusiness.com? Once again, great question. Out the gate, we're doing most of the heavy lifting to drive qualified buyers to your listings. That's what you're paying us for. However, some things that you can do as a seller is make sure you add really, really nice images that excite potential buyers. No one wants to review a boring listing with, default images or template images. So focus on that part. Get real pictures of the business if you can. Also focus on writing a great business description that uncovers how great this business is, why you're selling it, or why your client's selling it, and what the future looks like for the buyer, right? Also share your listing link to your own network. It really helps, right? And if you have multiple listings, you'll have a seller profile where you could conveniently share all your listings at once with your audience as well. So share those links, get them out there. And then the last thing, like I talked about in our resource center, is we have something called our digital leverage widget. So basically you embed your seller profile link on your website. And that's a great way to reach more buyers and conveniently redirect them to learn more about all your listings versus double listing opportunities everywhere. And then last, as a seller, we have something called our Boost Plus campaigns. And that's when basically our team will put together a tailored email and social campaign to increase exposure and drive more attention to your listings. So if you're interested in that and you have a listing on our site right now, simply connect with our support team and they can definitely get you started with that. Another question here: what types of businesses tend to perform well on your platform and why? Another great question. So we see a ton of success with businesses, obviously under 5 million in enterprise value. That's where we believe we could provide the most value. As for industry, it's pretty agnostic, but restaurants and food service businesses take the lead as far as in volume. And then that's followed by construction, education, and retail. I think we perform well because most of these deals, on average, are ignored by great brokers, and they tend to be underserved. So our platform does a great job at attracting them, organizing them, and presenting them to a diverse set of buyers. Next question. Are there any tips or best practices for negotiating a successful deal on buyandsellabusiness.com? Yeah, so I don't know if Jeff and I didn't make it clear today, but communicate. Deals that cross the finish line have great communication coming from both sides. And also, be fair and kind, right? The idea is not for one party to lose and the other party to win. The idea is to find mutual ground where a deal makes sense for both buyers and sellers. Okay, I think I have a few minutes here. I could take on one more question here. Let's see this here. What sets buyandsellabusiness.com apart from other online marketplace platforms? Good question. So out the gate, I don't think, I think at the end of the day, as a seller, especially as a seller, your goal is to sell. So, you may be leveraging multiple platforms, and that's totally fine. The goal for us is just to make sure we perform the best. And we think we perform the best for a variety of reasons. The first is we offer a wide range of business opportunities. And I truly believe an agnostic approach attracts a diverse set of informed users, especially buyers. And that just increases the overall success of connections and deals on our sites. So industry-wide, connections have about a 25% success rate. We're performing at 40%. So I think this is one reason that drives that success rate up. The next is we don't monetize our buyers, right? We believe adding friction to buyers limits meaningful business conversations, and not monetizing sellers attracts a ton of poor listings. Another thing, another advantage is our platform's the first platform to offer a digitized and automated purchase and sale experience. Like I said before, and as you saw through our demo, our full serve solution helps guide buyers and sellers through the offer, due diligence, and closing. Another advantage of our site is we have smart internal retargeting algorithm. So from the moment a user joins our platform all the way to the moment they list or connect with a buyer, our platform does a terrific job at ensuring conversations take place and deals happen. And the last and most important advantage is history. We've been around, we've been around the block, and we've seen a lot of companies come and go. And since 2012, we've worked hard to earn the trust of thousands of users and partners in 20 different countries, and we'll continue to work hard every day to maintain that trust. Trust, support, and reliability is at the core of our guiding principles at buyandsellabusiness.com. So it looks like we are done right on time with probably a couple seconds left here. But I just wanted to thank everyone for joining. I hope this was an informative and informal webinar. I want to thank Jeff also for joining us as well. Jeff, maybe you want to say bye to everyone here?
Bye, everyone here. Thanks for no technical questions. It made my job just so much easier. I didn't have to answer anything.
Hey, that's a good thing. That means our platform is pretty good. The UX is pretty good, so that's a good thing. But listen, once again, we're probably going to try and do more of these in the future. You'll probably get an email from us asking for feedback. There will be a recording for this as well. Once again, I appreciate your time here. If we went through things too quickly, our apologies. There is a lot to unpack here, but there will be a recording. So thanks, everyone. Have a good day and all the best, whether you're looking to sell a business or buy a business, all the best. And please keep us in mind. Thanks, everyone. Have a good one.
Yeah. Take care.